What's up, everybody? What's going on? This is Malik Carter. Another episode of Wealthy Ways podcast. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on in these streets, especially in my city in Philadelphia. Um, it's a ton to talk about, man. The economy is going crazy. Yeah, excuse me, man. It's chair. I'm not in my usual space today. So my living room, not my usual space. So, it's once again, I'm always new. I'm still new to the circumstances to trying to figure out, how to work the system. Hold on a second. I'm trying to share this out on my other page. So I know it's other people that might be interested in hearing what I have to say. Let me get the- Right, so I said nobody's watching right now, so I don't feel rushed. No viewers. So let me go. Oh, here we go. Let me share that. There you go. All right. There you go. Yeah, man. So first, man, I think it's important, that we start off, man, with everything that's going on in these streets of Philadelphia. I do live in Cows Creek. For those of you that know, it's in Philadelphia. Helicopters, hovering above my head, because of the killing of the young man, Walter Wallace Jr. A lot of people sent me the footage, right? A lot of people sent me and I'm like, I'm just not interested in watching that. I'm not interested in, I'm not interested in watching another, young man gunned down. I'm not interested in, seeing any more live death, right? It's one thing to watch it. It's one thing to watch it on, a movie, but like to watch it in real life, right? To watch not only, a young man pass, but to be killed in front of his mom. That's a whole other circumstance, right? So I definitely, don't want to see that. So you have to tell people, just please don't send it to me. Just please don't send that to me at all. I'm not interested in watching that. Why would I have to protect like my psyche and my mind. I understand that people have like that's an important right. You can't formulate an opinion without seeing the footage. And I get that. And my opinion is it's unfortunate that the young man passed away. And I don't know whether it was, justified. I don't know what's under justified. They said he had a knife walking towards police. They said they could have tased him or they could have, you know, somebody, this is crazy. Somebody said, I watched on social media, somebody said, why didn't they shoot him in the hand? Why didn't they shoot him in the hand? Like, y'all watch entirely too many movies talking about why don't they shoot him in the hand. I was talking to somebody else, like when you're watching a movie and like and a cop shoots somebody in the hand, like that's the best of the best of the best of a fictional movie. What makes you think that a regular officer, the 18th district, can shoot somebody in the hand to shoot the weapon out of it? That just absolutely makes no sense, right? That they said that, But it's a good place that. Yeah, but so anyway, so that circumstance, so now like I said, for the past couple of nights, man, it's been like a lot of shooting in my neighborhood. I saw the couple blocks away. I saw the crowd of protesters. They ran the police off the block. They chased them away. That was interesting to see. And I guess people kind of wondered, like, okay, why do they use rubber bullets, right? Why do they use non-lethal force? And it's probably because if they don't, they're going to get chased. Like a whole bunch of cops, right, just got chased away. And there's a lot of like economic destruction. Like people already started to run in stores. They ran like all the pharmacies. What I actually did notice though is that the Rite Aid, my neighborhood at 53rd in Baltimore, not only did they close up and board, they're gone. They closed down. They took the sign. I was just in there 3 days ago, and they took the sign down from outside. There is no more Rite Aid, at that location at 53rd in Baltimore. And like I said, I go to that Rite Aid. That's not my primary, pharmacy or anything, but that's one less business in the neighborhood that had, I think, like 100% black employees. No, no, that's not true. There was one older white guy who I saw there sometimes, like a retiree, but every last person there, and the pharmacist, right? But all the lab technicians were black, all the cashiers were black. It had a black manager. It had, the stock guys were black. It was a black security guard, and now that store is gone. I mean, probably cost about 15 to 16 black people their jobs. So, and I don't know how many other jobs, right, are going to be lost from this circumstance. And what we got to kind of understand, right, is what the police, they got to just do better. And I think the narrative that, of the police always doing wrong, always getting away, like if that narrative wouldn't be there, then people wouldn't be so fed up. But what I will say is this: right now, we're seeing outside my neighborhood, it's nothing to do about Black lives, nothing to do about social issues, nothing to do with um, freedom, equality, and justice, nothing to do with that. On one side, you have people that just want to steal, right, and loot and riot. On the other half, there's the anarchist, and the anarchist graffiti is all over the neighborhood now, and they care nothing about what's really going on, and the plight of black people, they just really want to cause mayhem, and they are, and the people that are paying for that mayhem are the average citizens, right? So there's a lot of things at play, and what they're doing is really taking away from the real cause. It's taking away from the real issue of social justice, of police violence, and any ground that we've gained was is all being taken away and corrupted by largely anarchists. They're the ones, when you look at most of the arrests in Minnesota and Milwaukee, down in Missouri, like all these places, the people that are burning down police stations, and they're largely like white youth that are doing these things. It's not the peaceful protesters aren't doing that. Sure, some people get caught in the mix, but it's not that, and here on Wealthy Wednesdays, we talk about like the economics of everything. And today is just the economics of injustice. Like, how does that affect our communities? Like, how does it affect everything that's going on around us? And it was disheartening, man. I watched a young lady's boutique destroyed for a second time, and nothing to do about the circumstance, man. Like this woman, I don't know what I don't know what she did to get that place open, but I do know what it takes to open a business. I do know what it is to lose a business. I know what it is to succeed. I know what it is to fail. But to fail in your own merit is one thing. But to have to go out and make a statement that she can't fulfill any of her online orders because her store was looted by people that look like her in the name of social justice, it's a sad situation, man. And I don't like it. I don't like what's going on. You know, I understand like the rioting. We did get, some things done last trip. There's some things done in Chicago, not Chicago, but in Colorado, like some other laws were passed, and I don't know, man. But the government has to understand how they're complicit in the disorganization and the dysfunction, and the government has to admit that okay, we've been doing wrong. You know, we need to clear this up. Now, back to this officer or officers, I don't know how many it was, in the assistance. I have no idea what happened. Like I said, I don't know whether justified. I don't know whether it wasn't. I really don't understand the circumstance behind it. And what I am going to do is look at it from multiple sides right now. From one side, there's a gentleman with a knife and walking at you. Someone told me that it was 10 shots. I don't know what it was. Um, but was this officer trained to use? Are they even trained to use less than lethal force? Right? If they draw their guns or something with a deadly weapon, are they trained to do to? Are they trained to use tasers? Right? Are they trained to use nightsticks? Are they trained to use shields? Are they trained to wait to call back up? Like what is the training? So the difficult part is to say, and Philadelphia does have a black commissioner, a woman at that, and before that it was another black commissioner who had to step down for other reasons. Um, so it's like, Philadelphia has, black police commissioners all the way from Willie Williams and, you know, Ramsey. And like, we have black police commissioners for a long time, and so it's like, what is the training? You know, can this police officer be disciplined for doing what he was trained to using deadly force? People say that a social worker should have been called out first. Police respond in 2 to 3 minutes. Who knows how long before a social worker could get there? And I'm sure social workers wouldn't want to be put in a circumstance to try to talk down a man who's having an episode when the man's own mother couldn't calm him down, right? And so, but we still have to look at the economic impact of that. What's it going to cost the city later? And which in turn going to cost like the taxpayers. What's it going to cost and like the fight for justice and injustice, like these things. Now like to fight to struggle cost. I know I donate. Am I going to be somebody that's out marching and having a picket sign? Absolutely not. But I fund that. I fund Dream Defenders, right? I funded programs for that pay the bail for people arrested. I know my role, my role is not out in the streets carrying picket signs. Somebody has to fund the movement. That's what I choose to do. Everybody ain't gonna do it. I'm also a huge fan of Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson says that marching is useless. I don't think that's necessarily true, but he says we need economics. I'm a fan of Dr. Claude Anderson. That's why my revolution is economic. Everything that I do is teaching people about economics. Everything that I learn, I bring back to the people. It's like If I learn things at a high level that really should be taught younger, I bring it back so that all of us can learn from what I mean. I invest a lot in my education, from my college education, still paying student loans. I've taken courses, I pay consultants, and I bring that information all back to the people, and I'm still spending money. I'm in a course right now that I'm paying for, and I'm going to do another one probably later on. And I'm going to pay for more and more conferences that are now online. I'm paying thousands of dollars for, but I'm going to still bring that back to the people, right? So economic freedom, economic justice, to fight like that's more along the lines of me, of what I do this for. That's the reason why it's wealthy ways. So, but at any rate, I just really wanted to talk about that. I feel like the night was important to mention the circumstance, and like, when you look back in a few years, just understand like the part that you played, right? Were you sitting on the sidelines at the moment, or did you actually get in the rumble? You know, um, we got to look at it. But I will tell you this, man. We have to get this. We have to get. We can't have. There's no fight without the money. There is no. We have to get to the money, get to the political support, own the buildings, own the businesses. We can't complain about the unemployment rate if you can't even hire your brother. If you can't give your son a job, if you can't give your nephew a job, then it's tough to complain about the unemployment rate, especially when the best of us made money and they skip town. It's tough. But either way, man. Listen, thanks for those that tuned in. I appreciate you. Cows Creek League, Wealthy Ways.